You know, even if we were to look at the devastation of abortion in just one city, it would be reason enough for all of us to be here. And so we're going to do just that. We're going to look at the devastation on one city. Christopher Bell is the co-founder and president of Good Counsel, a unique and comprehensive program begun in New Jersey dedicated to the care of single mothers before, during, and after the birth of their babies. Through Good Counsel maternity homes, mothers grow emotionally and economically, becoming responsible parents and breaking the cycle of poverty and abuse. And we'll have now Christopher Bell.
In the late 70s, early 80s, I was living and working in Times Square and saw young pregnant and parenting women on the streets of New York, and moved by the need for longer-term housing and care. With the help and encouragement of many other people, we opened Good Counsel homes right across the river in that small city of Hoboken. And the first mom who walked in taught me something even more that I needed to know, and I had no idea. She was 19 years old. She actually had some college courses under her belt, came from a relatively middle-class, professional working family. Parents had both just split. That's why she couldn't live with either one of them. She had just given birth to a little boy named Bobby, and then told me what I could have never imagined. She said, "This isn't the first time I became pregnant." And when I was in high school and became pregnant, my mother told me that we had to take care of the problem. And my mother took me to Planned Parenthood. And there they told me they were going to remove a little blob of bloody tissue. And she said, while I was in the waiting room, the recovery room, I saw another girl crying, and I became hysterical and yelled, "I killed my baby." And she looked at me and then asked me two questions, which I could never answer at that time. She said, "When people see me with Bobby, they say, what a beautiful boy. Is he your first?" And she asked me, "What do I tell them?" And then she asked, "Where do you think my first baby is?" And the next mother who came in had a very similar traumatic story, because she grew up in New Jersey. Like New York and Connecticut and too many other states, she didn't need her parents' permission. Some friend of the family, she called her godmother, but just some friend of the family took her as a young teenager to have that procedure done. And she tells me to this day, I would have never gone in there if there were people outside and told me there was a place I could get help. And since 1985, when we opened up Good Counsel, till today, about half the women who come to us have had at least one abortion. And they're usually coming to us within 12 to 18 months after that abortion, this time willing to do anything to give birth to that child. And it's been mentioned here today, some people may think of that as an atonement baby or a replacement baby, but that mother knows she wants to have that child. She does not want to go back to have that other experience again. However, in New York City, sex in the city is not very pretty. And there, 40 to 50% of the women who have abortions are having their second, third, fourth, and more abortions. In New York City, 10% of all abortions in the United States takes place, nearly 90,000 every year. And the preponderance of those abortions are happening in the African American community. About 60% of all pregnancies in the African American community in New York City, where 40% of all pregnancies are being ended by abortion, 60% in the African American community are occurring. In contrast, the Caucasian community, about 21% of their pregnancies are ending in abortion, which is about the national average. But this is a horrendous, ugly statistic that is reflective in this abortion capital of the world. Because even pre-Roe v. Wade, abortion was legalized in New York, and there was a setup of a chain through buses, through planes, through trains, of getting women from around the country to go into New York to have their abortions. And some are predicting, should abortion be restricted more in the states, at another future point, they will just try to open up those lines of transportation to maintain in New York that horrible practice. What we offer at Good Counsel is an opportunity, a way out for women who are in need. But like we heard at the beginning of the day, we're seeing at the end of the day, I'm seeing today women who have been lied to, have been exploited, have been misled, and the young women are being told by their parents, they're being coerced and forced to have that abortion because they're told they don't have a choice. We have to stop this grave injustice for women. We have to continue to offer real alternatives, but we have to shut down the malicious abuse that is occurring on women and men who are being lied to and told that this is a way out for them. It's not a way out. It's a way for further degradation to them too. Thank you very much.
So grateful for your good work. I didn't mention in his introduction that they have 4 homes in New York and have 8 other cities other states that are looking at the model of good counsel to help women with unplanned pregnancies.